So, what was your experience with Spanish before getting into Skyrocket your Spanish?
Um, a lot of different experiences. Starting, of course, with school in high school, trying to learn Spanish different ways up through college and even different online programs. And I mean, some of them worked, some of them, but um, there was always kind of a disconnect, I guess, or there was never a follow through, or things seemed pretty informal. There was always a lot of people in the class, or it just could never get it to stick in a kind of way. So it's been a long road. But since we've only known each other maybe a month or two now, and like you always say, you don't have the magic answer, but the approach has definitely been a lot more effective for me, because it's the way you've explained things to me and stuff, it's finally made a lot more sense in a lot of different ways. And again, I'm not fluent or nothing yet, but there's a lot of things like we've said before.
Why would you say this is different? What's the difference between this and things you tried in the past?
It's just, I feel in the past, a lot of times things were explained in a very informal way, or I guess in an impersonal way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if that's the way to say it, where things were like, it's hard to describe. For example, like with the past tense, would get explanations for the past tense over and over and over. Like, it's okay, well, this is something that happens continuously in the past, or this, and it never made sense to me, but when I was speaking with, when you were explaining it to me, you made it a lot more clear. Like, no, this is specifically what it is. And you had a better way of explaining it, rather than just defaulting to the traditional explanation that that teachers usually fall to. So like with the imperfect, it finally makes sense to me that this is something that's happening as you're like describing it in the past, or as something that generally does not, it's not stopping, but it just made more sense to me. And I don't know if I'm explaining it.
How do you feel about the daily assignment?
I like the structure of it. I like that you provide different videos, or you provide different, the temas, the sheets where you can read through and stuff like that. I like that because I can always refer back to it. And, and which I usually do. I usually try to read back through all of them. I can go back to review them and stuff. And it's presented in a way that's, again, I feel like it's useful. It's always set up in like a conversation format, like someone's saying this, someone's saying that. Believe it or not, in all the different like classes and stuff I have, no one's ever explained to me or had an example say like, like the class we did with La Rubia, or La Rubia que, you know what I mean? Like, like just describing things like that. It's just things like that. I've never heard of that before. Or like saying like Ike. No one's ever explained that to me before.
Yeah.
Like just
small, I guess people just translate it from English to Spanish, and that was it, right?
Yeah, it's just like small useful phrases like that, where I was just like, I can't believe all this time that means you have to, you need to, why has no one ever explained that to me before? So I guess it's like little things like that. I mean, that have kind of impressed me in that way, where and yeah, it might sound small, but to somebody who has been going through this for a while, it's a big thing. It's important.
Yeah.
It means a lot to hear like, oh wow, that makes a lot more sense now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like the way to explain things because I think you have a really good idea of what's important to someone learning Spanish, what they really need. You know, like you could go through the different levels. Okay, let's do this. Okay. But you seem like you really okay, we're going to do this and then let's put this in here and then we're going to do that because it's what people really use. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it well.
No, yeah, you're explaining it perfectly. Thank you.
but
And
you know,
now we've been 2 months doing this. Something that I get a lot is like, oh, I saw your testimonial, but it didn't say anybody speaking Spanish. So no worries, because at the end of this video, Will is going to speak Spanish just to prove me right. Okay. But before we get into that, what are your goals now? What things do you want to do? Like, what's your future perspective now? In relationship with languages, like today is September 24th. So what's your idea to do next year?
Well, to reach fluency. I mean, that's just it. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's, have, different immediate goals, like, to, speak a little better within this time or work on this, of course, but the ultimate goal, of course, is always to be fluent. You know what I mean? To be able to listen to any video, to watch any movie, to speak to any person and know what they're talking about.
Yeah. No, I mean, we are about to finish for those of you who are familiarized with the European Common Frame of references for languages. It has a pretty long name, but basically the A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 metrics. So we'll now finish the A2 again. It's late September 2025. So the idea is that he gets to the B1 in December. We have Christmas in between and Thanksgiving and a bunch of stuff. So maybe it's going to be January. Let's say it's January. The idea would be that by September, October, November, at the very last, next year, we can get to a B2 level, which is, it's fluency. It's not perfection, but it can be considered fluency. So yeah, so that's the goal, right, Will? That's the goal for this next year.
Right.
Yeah. As I always say, I'm not here to scam you guys. I'm not gonna tell, hey, come with me and I'll get you fluent in 3 months. No, but I'm not gonna say you're gonna be fluent in 7 years. No, here we go things fast. We go straight to the point, right, Will?
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
that's what allow me to get my student to fluency in 2 years, 2 years and a half maximum. And it usually takes longer, but yeah, it takes us less than that because of that. One.
I had to accept also, you have to, it's a process.
Oh yeah.
It's just not going to happen overnight. I mean, and I only say that because I'm very guilty of getting frustrated, of maybe being impatient with things, but you just have to accept the fact that it's something that's just going to take time and a lot of time studying and practicing and speaking and reading.
Oh yeah, 100%. So thank you very much for this little interview. I think I'm going to upload a part of it on Instagram and the rest is going to be on YouTube. Now, for the people who accuse me of not telling my students speaking Spanish, can you speak a little Spanish? He's not fluent yet, but he can speak Spanish pretty well. He can hold more than basic conversations. Así que, Will, ¿cómo estás? ¿Bien?
Sí, bien, sí. Y me llamo Will y soy de Estados Unidos. Y
soy de Estados Unidos. Soy de Estados Unidos. Soy de Estados Unidos.
Sí, soy de Estados Unidos. Y ahora yo vivo en el estado de Maine. Y yo no sé.
No sabes qué decir. No te preocupes. Bueno, estás ahí con tu hijo. ¿Cómo se llama tu hijo?
Se llama Felix.
¿Cuántos años tiene?
Sí, tiene 3 años.
3 años. Y ya es Halloween en tu casa, ¿no?
Sí.
Ya es Halloween.
Sí, Hoy está un poquito enferma, sí, pero no va a la escuela.
Sí. Uy,
Hoy.
tu padre es de Puerto Rico, ¿no?
Sí, sí, nació en Puerto Rico, sí. Y entonces, por supuesto, y movieron a Nueva York.
Se mudaron a Nueva York.
Mudaron, sí.
Se mudaron, sí, sí, sí. Claro, y
Sí.
tus padres siempre hablaron en inglés contigo, ¿no?
Sí, siempre. Sí. Cuando yo crecí, no habla español en mi casa. Y,
Mm,
y mi padre solamente habla inglés, pero toda la familia solamente habla conmigo en inglés.
ujú,
Sí, pero todo habla español, pero conmigo o mi hermano solamente en
mm.
inglés. Es muy
Sí,
común
sí,
en
era
Estados
la
Unidos.
cultura de hablarle a
Sí,
los niños en inglés. Sí, sí,
sí,
sí,
sí,
sí.
sí. Tengo un primos que los dos padres hablan español y no hablan español. Sí,
Mm.
yo creo que en Estados Unidos es muy común. Muy común.
Es común en muchos países, ¿eh? No solo en Estados Unidos. Es común en muchos países porque el bilingüismo ahora está bien visto, ahora, pero hasta hace relativamente poco el bilingüismo no, no, a la gente no le gustaba el bilingüismo, decía que hacía a los niños tontos,
Sí, sí.
que se crían antes. Vale. So, thank you very much, Will. Do you have anything to say to the public?
Come learn Spanish with Julia.
Okay, thank you, Will.